Dureza, Excellencies, Ambassadors, members of the AIPR Governing Council and the AIPR Advisory Board, dear representatives of ASEAN member states, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the ICRC, I would like to thank the Association of Southeast Asian Nations and the Government of the Philippines for the positive dialogue and collaboration that led to this event. Particular thanks go to the Philippines Department of Foreign Affairs, which have been, and to the Office of the Presidential Advisor of the Peace process in the Philippines, which have been wonderful partners in organizing this milestone symposium on strengthening humanitarian action in ASEAN. It is hosted between the ICRC and OPAP in support of the ASEAN Institute for Peace and Reconciliation. I would also like to thank the Government of Norway and Switzerland for generously supporting this conference. The ICRC sees the AIPR as an important entity for the region to research, build capacities, and to network. It provides a platform where individuals from different backgrounds, political, security, humanitarian, religious, media, civil society, think tanks and corporate have the possibility to come together to share perspectives on universal principles, key issues and contexts. Such platform is more needed today in today's world than it ever was. We are committed to extend our full support to the AIPR, which is in a privileged position to make valuable contributions to address humanitarian and protection challenges in ASEAN. Moreover, the AIPR will actively contribute to regional and global efforts towards conflict prevention, reconciliation, peace and stability. I would like to highlight the importance of promoting respect for rules that preserve the human dignity of victims in conflict and other situations of violence, and the need to uphold the responsibility to act collectively. It is an immense pleasure and honor to me to welcome such a brilliant audience. We see this symposium as a regional dialogue among stakeholders concerned with humanitarian access to people in need in complex emergencies and as a contribution to conflict prevention in ASEAN. Before opening the debate, let me thank all the panelists and participants for their readiness to explore international humanitarian law, to explore principles, religious norms and customary practices in ASEAN in order to address humanitarian and protection challenges. I encourage your active participation on practical, legal, doctrinal and ethical aspects of conflict prevention and reconciliation, which we will discuss during the first day of the symposium. This should be a mutually beneficial engagement between humanitarian workers, religious scholars, legal experts, policymakers, armed forces, law enforcement authorities, researchers and other personalities in order to identify concrete challenges in contemporary conflicts and measures and means to address these challenges. I further count on your valuable input and expertise during the second day of this symposium, when we look at key issues relating to healthcare, children and education, the protection of vulnerable groups and persons deprived of their liberty. I'm confident that together we will be able to agree on best practices and come up with a set of recommendations on which to further work in the coming months and years. Please also note that the Chatham House rules will apply for the duration of the symposium. Therefore, all interventions made during the symposium may be reported, but without explicitly or implicitly identifying the source. Congratulating ASEAN for celebrating its 50th anniversary and for the remarkable role it played since its creation in maintaining peace across Southeast Asia, I would now like to give the floor to His Excellency Andrea Reichling, Ambassador of Switzerland to the Philippines, followed by His Excellency Erik Forner, Ambassador of Norway to the Philippines, and to my dear friend, Secretary Jesus Dureza, Presidential Advisor on the peace process, with again our deepest thanks for their support and cooperation. Thank you very much.
May we now invite Her Excellency Ambassador of Switzerland to the Philippines, Andrea Reichling, to deliver her remarks.
Honorable Jesus Dureza, Presidential Advisor for the Peace Process, dear friend, Assistant Secretaries from OPAP and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, distinguished members of AIPAR Governing Council and Advisory Board and representatives of ASEAN member states, dear colleague ambassadors, esteemed representatives from religious and indigenous communities, dear Pascal Pochet, Head of Delegation ICRC, Philippines and ICRC delegates from headquarters Geneva and the ASEAN countries, dear members of the national and international Red Cross and Red Crescent movement, dear representatives of the civil society and academia, dear ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of Switzerland, I congratulate the Philippine Presidency and ASEAN Institute for Peace and Reconciliation, AIPAR, for joining their forces with the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, for the symposium, a novel initiative bringing together stakeholders from ASEAN member states. For all of us living in Southeast Asia, diversity is a fact and way of life. The ASEAN institutions are ideally placed to providing a framework of exchange for multi-stakeholder topics, such as promoting international humanitarian law, humanitarian principles, religious norms and customary practices with the aim to support each other and share good practices. It is thus my pleasure to join my welcome to those of the other speakers this morning. Welcome to you all to this exceptional event. Humanitarian law and Switzerland are long-standing allies. As the depository state of the universally recognized Geneva Conventions, Switzerland has a long humanitarian tradition. If we look at the world around us, including this region, no one can doubt the importance and necessity of the conversations that will take place during the next days. In contemporary conflicts, with their ever-increasing complexity, so many lines are blurred, and humanitarian actors are more and more at risk. Ladies and gentlemen, international humanitarian law is not about abstract legalese, but aims to provide concrete protection for civilians, humanitarian actors, and the most vulnerable groups in conflict situations. We congratulate the Philippine Presidency and AIPAR to gather such an important audience for these 2 days. The conversations will hopefully allow to identify the core issues and significance of IHL and thus enhance your ownership of the underlying principles. By contextualizing and detailing those principles, you will breathe additional